Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be my recap video for Omaha, and then I'm going to start with the deck profile and then go into the recap afterwards, and I'll tell you how I did. Alright, so let's just start off with the fish here. We'll go 3 leaf fish, 3 keef, 3 shift, 1 pasties, 1 zep, 1 snopios, 1 angler, and 3 sunfish. I'm pretty happy with this ratio. It felt really good to play with. Leaf fish is like the best normal summon in the deck, and up there with one of the best normal summons in the game, with context. So he's really good. The one thing that sucks is if your leaf fish gets negated and you can't really fire it off unless you have a backup plan. So that's where the 3 keef comes into play. Keef is an insane extender. It's basically just a sprite card, but it requires a fish instead of a level 2. And so what you can do, if you have keef and leaf fish in your hand, you can normally leaf fish, and then if they negate that, then you can just go into your keef and then make a sprint. And it's really nice because then your leaf fish is in grave for used as material, and then you send angler and special 2 sunfish. If you use those guys as material, you can use the leaf fish graveyard effect to banish yourself and shuffle these guys back into the deck and then draw a card. And then angler is not once per turn, so you can just do it again. It's really good. We have the 3 shift here. Shift is a weird thing to run at 3. I know it might seem weird, but shift plus a level 2 extender is still the same end board that the normal summon leaf fish would give you. So it's pretty good. If I were to draw a tuner, I would want it to be shift, because at least I could do something with that. And it's not too bad of a brick. Pasties, Zep, and Snopios are all Ghoti engine requirements. Zep lets you synchro climb in your opponent's turn. Snopios lets you just keep looping your fish over and over again. He's also can be used as flux as a hand trap. I did it once against an unchained player. But yeah, it's kind of super neg to use him as a hand trap, because then he won't banish himself when he leaves the field, so you need to find another way to banish him. Pacey's not that bad to draw either. He is level 2, and if you draw him in combination with another fish, you can just use his effect as special from hand, and then he gets banished and he comes back. So it's pretty good. 1 angler, 3 sunfish. I mean, just nimble package. Sunfish is not bad going second. Kind of sucks to open first, but it is what it is when you play something like this. He is still level 2, so you can summon Keef in any Spright card if you have him in hand. But he does put a lot of pressure going second, especially if they leave something in attack position. So you can kill yourself and then drop the angler, or you can send a shift and you can send a leaf fish if you've already dumped angler. So that way you can go to main 2, shuffle the guys back, and then keep playing. So I was really satisfied with these fish. They did pretty well. Only some minor changes because I opened angler sometimes and couldn't do anything, but we'll get to that later. Now we'll go into the Spright cards here. 3 blue, 2 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot, 3 starter, and a smashers. I'm also pretty happy about these ratios. 3 blue, really good to see in your opening hand, because you can just add whatever you want. 2 jet is where I think I differ from a lot of Spright players. I like 2 jet because I like follow up the next turn, and because I have 3 starters and a smashers, so it gives me kind of freedom for what I want to search. And if you open the jet before the blue, it actually it does feel a bit better sometimes, because then you can gigantic out blue and then go crazy some more. Carrot red, self-explanatory. 3 starter. 3 starter feels really good, especially in combination with like a leaf fish, because it does the same job as Keef does. It gives you the extra extension if your leaf fish gets negated. Man, leaf fish is so good in this deck because it like forces interaction immediately. And then we have smashers. Smashers is really good right now, in my opinion. I think it's better than double cross. Double cross is on the side, so you can swap it or just add in double cross too if you're going first. But smashers is really good. It acts as searchable spot removal, and the fact that it doesn't target is extremely good right now, especially into matchups like voiceless, where you can just say, yeah, okay, Skull Guardians, bye bye. It's pretty nice. I can just win you the game on the spot sometimes. I find it easier to actually chew through voicelesses Skull Guardians because they only have 2 instead of the 3 low, which they can easily just get back. Feels way better. Alright, let's go for non-engine here. 3 cross out, 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Nib, and 3 Imperm. These did pretty good for me. Cross out was extremely good. Not only does it stop the hand traps that most effectively hurt the deck, if I don't use it, it also serves as an extension because you can just call one of the Ghoti tuners, like one that you don't have banished yet, and then it gets those guys in rotation for next turn, and they just special summon back in the standby, so it's really nice. Having the same end board with 2 tuners is much stronger than with just 1 tuner. And it's, honestly, I think it's very hard to lose the game if you have 2. Yeah, Ash Blossom, really good. Use it every game that I had it, and it was effective every time I used it. Not complaining, it's not leaving the deck anytime soon. Failure, on the other hand, Failure was weird. It was okay. I don't know if I'm just like not using it optimally or something, but it felt like super mid. And when I saw it, it was against a voiceless player, and when I used it, he had Saravis in hand, so it didn't do anything. So I don't know, kind of mid, but still feels like kind of good and just generally applicable in most matchups. So I don't know what I would replace it with. Is kind of the issue here. It's definitely just generically good and usable in almost every situation, but whatever. Nib was insane to have when I was able to actually use it, but a lot of the players were playing around Nib, and so when I had it in my hand, it was a dead card a lot of the times. But if you just think about having the card kind of, if you reconsider the Nibiru effect to say your opponent can only summon 4 times this turn, it becomes kind of good to have in your hand. But oh well, I should have cited it out more than I did. But even when I did side out 2 copies and kept one in for a crossout, I still kept opening it. It was kind of annoying. This thing could not leave my hand. Imperm was insane. It's way better than Valor. You can use it on your opponent's turn or your turn, and you can just set it. It doesn't turn on talents or thrust. Really good, hard to beat. Pretty much like, I don't see any hand trap being better than Imperm for a very long time. Oh, that's that. Let's get into the extra here. Alright, so let's start with the synchros. 2 Arion posts, 1 Ascan, 1 Whale, 1 Excel Stardust, 1 Deep Beyond, Baron, and Cheng Ying. I used every single one of these synchros, and I loved every single one of them. I think this is like the perfect split, and it's going to take a lot of convincing to get me to change my mind on this. The 2 Arion posts was really good. I played against 2 Kashtira players, and both of them got to look at my extra deck, and both of them were not able to banish Arion posts because I had a second one. So they fell on Ascan a lot of the time, and it definitely hurts, but if this is face down, then you still have your Whale to go into on your opponent's turn, and Whale can still cycle your stuff if it gets destroyed, so it was pretty good. I know a lot of pure lists play 2 Ascan, which is good for them, but with this deck, when you're playing the Spright stuff, you need some links, and you don't really have the extra deck space to spare, and it's not really mandatory, it's kind of just quality of life. So you can throw away the Ascan, and you don't have to worry about it getting banished when it already used its effect to come back. But yeah, Baron, Cheng Ying, Deep Beyond, all crazy, all closed out games. Cheng Ying plus Deep Beyond, I think I had like 15k damage up one game because there's so much stuff banished. It was insane. Let's get into the Spright stuff and the links. So you had 2 Gigantic, 2 Sprint, IP, SP, and Avermax. So the double Spright cards is pretty good. I liked it a lot. Definitely, I feel like it's needed. There were a lot of games where we went to game turn 3, 4, and 5, and the second copies of these cards definitely do come up, especially if your Gigantic gets negated on summon with Imperm or Veiler or whatever. It's really good to have a second copy. Same with the Sprint, but the Sprint is more important than the Gigantic, I'd say, because with the Leafish you can cycle back to Nimble stuff, and then with Sprint you can send the Angler to Grave a second time. So it's really good. IP, SP, and Avermax. IP and SP were both solid. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're just good cards. I don't know what to tell you. They should be like in almost every single extra deck. And then Avermax. I didn't summon Avermax once, but I'm glad I had him in my extra deck as security to just random fringe rogue stuff. Because this was my first regional, but from the stories I've heard, random rogue can pop up and give you a loss, and Avermax is kind of my security against that. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere, because when you can summon him against a rogue matchup, he's pretty much an auto win, outside of, let's say, Talents, or if they're running Underworld Goddess, but then they're wasting 4 of their guys just to out one of your guys. So I think that's a pretty good trade. Alright, so that's the main and extra. Now we got the side deck. Give me a moment. Alright, this is what I'm kind of not too sold on. We got 3 Ghost Bell, 3 Droll, 1 Magnemite, 2 Jerusalem, Typhon and Nightmare Phoenix, and then Mandatory 3 Summon Limit, and then Double Cross. Let's just start with the Ghost Spells. I sided Ghost Spell in once, and then when I saw it, or when I sided it in, I didn't see it, and even in the matchup that I sided it in, it wouldn't have done much. I think I'll be taking this card out of my side deck. I didn't really like it that much. I would have rather had something like Evenly Matched, which nobody was playing around because everybody was probably prepping and watching a bunch of videos saying like, oh, hand traps are the way to go, board breakers suck. No, Evenly would have been insane this regional, and I think I'm going to replace the Ghost Bell with that. Either that or Cyclone. Definitely not the Ghost Bell. It didn't do anything. Troll, on the other hand, I know people are considering taking it out. I will never take it out. I hate cringe 40-year-long combo decks, and it did come up against a Canadian player, and it won me the match, so I will not take that out. It's also just a good check for, if it's just a good check for balls to the wall combo decks. And so if you have Droll and you side it in and you see it, you probably won't lose to that unless they just rip the cold buy on you, and that sucks, but it's just nice to have. Bestials, I actually kind of put in last minute, and then I sided them in more than I thought I would. I played against decent, some matchups that was decent, like I played against Tyr and Voiceless. The Voiceless game was kind of out of my control. Dude had double summon limit game 3, so that sucks. But against the Tyr player, it was really good. I banished one of his names, and then he kind of just lost the game. So that was pretty good. Typhon and Phoenix I didn't side in, but I feel like those are mandatory for, like Droll, it's kind of mandatory for 1, annoying like end board matchups, and then 2, stun decks, and this lets you pitch the Angler too, which is nice. Then we have 3 summon limit, broken, stupid card, mandatory if you're going first game 3 or game 2. Can just win either game on the spot. And then Double Cross is really good in certain matchups, so I'd side it in. If I was going first and I didn't really have anything that I wanted to put in, I'd just throw in an extra Double Cross and take out something random, like a copy of Veiler or something, and just throw in the Double Cross, and it worked out fine. But anyway, that's the list. Now for the recap here. So I ended up going 5-3 at my first regional, which was pretty good, I'd say. I know Paul, one of my friends that was there with me, when at the end of round he was cheering me on the whole time. I started off 0-2, and then once I finished my round 7, I was on a 5-game win streak, and like he saw me bring up the slip, and like he was like very excited. I saw on his face. He usually doesn't show that much excitement, but it was cool to see. But yeah, it was a really fun experience overall. I know a lot of the Manhattan group um, did not get like any sleep the night before. We're all rocking zero or only a couple hours. Uh, it was a 3 hour drive, so it wasn't terrible, but definitely long enough to be annoying. It's kind of it's kind of annoying that Kansas doesn't have any regionals that are closer than that. It's like Omaha is probably the closest one. But it was fun. Honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought. And I heard a lot of horror stories about people getting sharked and everything. And I don't know if it was just like a beginner's luck sort of thing, but I didn't really run into those people. Um, and even when I did the Enchin player that I faced round 2, it's like the closest you can get to somebody that was trying to do that. But like, if you know your deck and you know the rulings, and they call over a judge, you're like, it's like, what the judge is going to tell you the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Like I normal the leaf fish, and I had a keef in hand, and I went to go special a keef, and then he wanted to know if I like if the leaf fish left the field, the keef wouldn't be able to special summon, but that obviously wasn't the case because I meant the conditions, and the judge told him exactly that. And I'm pretty sure he was just stalling for time, but it is what it is. It's a regional, it's a competitive event. People are gonna try to squeak out the wins as much as they can, so can't blame them. But yeah, it was actually a really fun experience. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of them in the future. Going 5-3 at my first one definitely is giving me the confidence that I can get a qual at some point, or maybe even top. I'm really impressed with myself that I was able to do so well as I did with the deck that I had. I know there were some people that I was facing that's like, okay, Ghoti Swift, yup, and then then I special blue and use its effect. I'm like, wait, what the hell? I definitely did get some people off guard, but I don't think that's why I won the games. I think there were a lot of people that knew what the Ghoti cards did, and they knew what the Spright cards did. They just never seen them put together. But it's not like they were reading every single card every single time. But yeah, it's pretty good. Round 1, I played against Cyber Dragon from my dude from my locals. It was really cringe because I lost that match because I bricked game 1, and then game 2 I also like semi bricked, and his hand was insanely gas. So I was I started off real slow. I wasn't expecting to do that well because I lost against him. The Unchained players against round 2. I lost to him in game 3. I think I misplayed that one. I think I could have won that match. Um, and even in the Cyber Dragon one, I think there was something that I could have done to maybe squeak out a winning take it to game 3 and get another shot at winning the match. But it is what it is. We all make mistakes. We're on 2 hours of sleep that night, and then 5 hours the night before, so 7 hours total for a weekend isn't great. Um, but yeah, so I lost. I started off the tournament 0-2, and then round 3 I played the Kashtira player from my locals. Swiftly won that match. That was very refreshing to break the loss streak. Round 4, I played against another Kashtira, beat that guy very fast. Um, I People saying Kashtira is like close into tier 1, and I just don't agree. I think it's just a good meta call right now. I don't think it's like a strong deck, but maybe I just have a really good matchup into them, or maybe I got lucky. Who knows? But they activate Shifter. You just okay. I'm gonna set up 4 Ghoti monsters next turn. What are you gonna do? Um, anyway, and then round 5, I played against. No, I think round 4 I played against Brandon. I won that match very convincingly. He wasn't able to puppet lock me, and then if you're playing for puppet lock and you don't puppet lock, then you're just a wet fart of a deck. So beat that guy. Round 5, I played the other Kashtira, and then round 6 is when I played Manadium. That was pretty scary. The first game, he played through like 7 interruptions. I probably didn't use them at the right times because it's so like hit or miss of when you can use it against that deck, because you never know what extensions they can have in their hand, and if they have the right ones, then they can play through pretty much anything. So that was scary. I lost game 1 going first with 7 interruptions, and then game 2 I won because his hand wasn't as crazy, and I think I used my interruptions way better. And then game 3, he went first, but I opened roll, so outplayed. Yeah, won that match. And then round 7, I went against Tier. That was the fastest 2-0 I think I've had in my life. I think I beat the guy in 10 minutes. Um, I won the die roll, so I was able to go first. I set up. I had Leafish and I had Crossout in hand, but he didn't have an interruption. So I normal Leafish, did my whole 1-card combo BS. I crossed out. I got another tuner out, and then I set 2 and passed to him, and then he normal summoned Medora, and so he lost. That was a tough one. And then game 2, he went first. I opened Nib. He went crazy. He was doing all the stuff. He milled pretty well, and then he made he was playing Horus, and so he used Mseti and Happy, I think, one of them, to make an 8. And I thought he was gonna go into Photon Lord. I had Nib and Impermanent, but I thought he was gonna go into Photon Lord, but instead he just goes into Zombie Vampire. He got greedy, and yeah, and then I just nibbed him on the spot before he could use the Zombie Vampire's effect, and he just set 2 and pass, and didn't have any interaction. He had a set Solic, which he couldn't use, and then I just killed him. I just killed him with Nib Gigantic and 2 Spright cards. So that was pretty good. Won that really fast. And then the last round, which is the heartbreaker. I played against Voiceless. Game 1 and 2, I opened up Angler. It was really annoying. I opened up Angler the first 2 games in a row. My game 1, I was going first. My hand was not good. The Angler is already not good, but his hand was also like insanely gas. I don't know what his draw for turn was, but he used Ash and Valor on me, or Ash and Imperm on me, turn 1. And then when it passed back to him, he had Diviner, Prosperity, Pre-Prep, and Branded Fusion. So dude had a custom crafted hand, and that one just felt awesome. I just scooped and immediately went to game 2. Game 2, I won the grind game because he didn't really have much. He had I think he had a hand trap, a Branded Fusion, then probably had some other stuff that wasn't there. I drew my Angler again, but like I said before, Fish and the Ghoti monsters and the reduced board state are very powerful. So he saw the losing battle and just scooped him into game 3. Then game 3, my hand was okay. I had Pasties plus a Spright card, so I could get there. But then he flipped Summon Limit, and I had Smashes in hand. So when I summoned Jet. He chained. I summoned Jet, used the effect, and then he chained Summon Limit. So I went and grabbed Smashers, but I didn't have another. I didn't have another Spright card to pay cost for Smashers, so it was just a losing battle. And so I ended up losing my last match. Went 5-3, missed out on quals, but it's fine. I still did pretty well. Good for him. He was a nice guy about it too. He's like, yeah, man, this card's so stupid. We were agreeing and laughing. He actually plays like Spright stuff too, so we were talking about that a little bit. He was a cool dude. But anyway, really enjoyed the regional experience. Definitely gonna go again. Need to look up when there's one close by. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, and any questions you might have, put them in the comments. Let me know if you liked the video. If you liked it, hit the like button. Maybe subscribe if you're new here, but I know a lot of you guys are my friends and already subscribed, so you don't have the option to do that. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, probably a week from now. It'll be more edited and less spontaneous than this one. I'm just really tired from the weekend. I don't feel like editing another video for hours. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.